Starcast: Swapna Suresh, main accused, former staffer at the UAE consulate. PS Sarit Kumar, co-accused number 1, former public relations officer at the UAE consulate. Sandeep Nair, co-accused number 2, local contact for fencing smuggled gold. Fazil Farid, co-accused number 3, Dubai site contact, arranged for the gold. M. Sivasankar, principal secretary to Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan. Sunday, July 5th, 2020, Thiruvananthapuram Airport.
Excuse me, officer. I am Sarit Kumar from UAE consulate. Those bags are ours. We need to X-ray scan the bags under supervision. Call someone senior from your consulate.
A panicked Sarit, instead of informing the consulate, calls his accomplice.
Swapna, do something.
She in turn calls the head of customs.
This is Swapna Suresh from the office of Mr. Sivasankar, Secretary to CM. You realize that by holding up this consignment, you will create a big problem with the UAE government. You can lose your job if you don't release it immediately.
Conducting a search of diplomatic baggage is a serious breach of protocol under the Vienna Convention. But Kerala Customs were acting on a tip-off received in an unrelated case of Malayali actress Shamna Kasim aka Purna.
I have filed a police complaint against some men who tried to blackmail me on pretext of marriage.
During the investigation, one of the accused revealed,
One deal woman. She is involved in gold smuggling in diplomatic baggage.
this deal woman was now about to be caught.
Mr. Al-Shamili, kindly come to Thiruvananthapuram Airport and identify your baggage.
The cargo, listed as bathroom fitting, noodles, biscuits and dates, was opened in the presence of UAE's chargé d'affaires and other Indian government officials as witnesses. Innovatively hidden inside long steel items like door locks, hollow steel pipes and iron rods was 66 pounds of 24-carat gold worth approximately 15 crores or $2 million. The consulate official disowned the contents as the customs seized the cargo.
This is impossible. It's not mine.
Sarit Kumar, who was kept waiting separately, was immediately arrested and sent to 14 days judicial custody. The next day, July 6th, Swapna Suresh was fired from KSI TIL, where she worked as operations manager. But by then, she was nowhere to be found, hiding north of the city in the picturesque beach town of Varkala. 2 days after the seizure, on July 7th, armed with a COVID pass, Swapna, her husband and Sarit's brother Sandeep Nair, who she supposedly hatched the plot with, drove a further 150 kilometers north to the house of a former jeweler in Alappuzha, where she could leave her children, a teenage daughter and a young son, in safe custody.
They will not be safe at my house. I will book a hotel in Ernakulam for them.
There she handed over a bag allegedly containing 40 lakh rupees to the jeweler, later found with only 14 lakhs at the residence of Sarit Kumar. The next stop was to meet a lawyer in Kochi who would prepare papers to move an anticipatory bail application. The trio shifted locations while waiting in Kochi, spending the first night in a hotel near the shipyard, and then moved to a place owned by Swapna's friend in Tripunithura. The next day, her three-pronged counter-attack plan was set in motion. First, Swapna's lawyer Geopol filed the anticipatory bail plea in the Kerala High Court.
Your Honor, she is entitled to diplomatic immunity as she is still working with the consulate under work on request basis.
Second was to turn around negative public opinion. The same Alappuzha jeweler then allegedly handed over an audio clip that was aired on TV channels.
I'd been framed. I made the call to customs on the instructions of the Acting Consul General of UAE.
The third and the last part of the plan, get out of Kerala. So on July 9th, under the very noses of the cops, she drove out of her home state, driving out via Thrissur and Palakkad to travel through Coimbatore and Salem in Tamil Nadu to reach Bengaluru. With the trio absconding, the police raided Sandeep Nair's other brother's home in Aruvikara on the outskirts of the city when the phone rang. The police intercepted the phone to get their location despite them moving around constantly. Other sources suggest they were traced via Swapna Suresh's home number or alternatively when she charged her card. Irrespective, on July 11th, 6 days after the seizure, Swapna and Sandeep were nabbed by the NIA in a hotel in Bengaluru's BTM layout. Brought to Kerala by road the next day, no car overturned fortunately like in Vikas Dubey. and produced before the NIA court in Kochi, to which the case had by then been transferred. Swapna Suresh, it turned out, was the main facilitator and prime accused in the case. Born and brought up in the UAE, Swapna worked in the Abu Dhabi airport before returning to Kerala sometime around 2010, after which she worked in various travel agencies, and using her skills as a fluent speaker of Arabic, she got a job as an executive secretary in the UAE consulate in Thiruvananthapuram, where she worked for 3 years till 2019. It is alleged that M. Sivasankar, Principal Secretary to the Chief Minister and IT Secretary, personally recommended Swapna for her next job, where, despite no technical background, she worked as operations manager on the space project of the IT department of KSITIL. A day after the case broke, Sivasankar was removed and later suspended from service when news of his close association with Swapna was revealed. Sivasankar's conduct seriously violated 2 government rules with respect to keeping contacts with staff of foreign embassies. An inquiry by a committee led by Chief Secretary Biswas Mehta later recommended his suspension.
Departmental action should be initiated for contacts with a foreign consulate official.
Because Sivasankar is the Principal Secretary to Pinarayi Vijayan, the Chief Minister quickly distanced himself from the scam.
We will investigate thoroughly. Central agency should conduct a joint probe with Kerala Police.
But Sivasankar's association was deeper. After the consignment was caught at customs, Swapna went to Sivasankar's house seeking intervention. According to interviews given by residents of Swapna's housing society close to the state secretariat at Thiruvananthapuram,
Sivasankar was a regular visitor here.
Another aide of the Chief Minister, Arun Balachandran, a former IT fellow who briefly rented his flat to Swapna on Sivasankar's request, was also removed from his new position. When the NIA took charge on July 9th, they registered cases under sections 15, 16, 17 and 18 of the UAPA Act, which essentially relate to terrorism and terror funding. Soon, more details of the crime began tumbling out. Apparently, Swapna had forged documents relating to the diplomatic baggage, including the seal and emblem of the UAE consulate. Earlier too, when she worked as a trainer in the HR department of Air India SATS, a ground handling service, she had allegedly forged signatures of 16 female employees to implicate her boss, Vice President Binoy Jacob. Swapna's current career was also based on a forgery. An alleged fictitious degree certificate got her a job at KSITIL. Though her elder brother Bright Suresh, living in Los Angeles,
I have my doubts whether she completed her class 10 when we were in Abu Dhabi.
But her lack of education did not in any way hamper her social skills. She talked her way into becoming the unofficial hostess of 2 major events in Kerala, the Kochi Design Week 2019 and the Space Technology Conclave in February 2020. And despite not being with the consulate any longer, she was powerful enough to award Kochi-based Unitag Builders the Life Mission Housing Project in Thrissur, for which, according to ED Special Prosecutor T.A. Unnikrishnan's submission before the court,
Swapna alone received 6% commission for this charity project sponsored by Red Crescent through the UAE consulate.
Similarly, she allegedly received kickbacks for selecting a company for doing up the interiors of the UAE consulate in Hyderabad and for appointing agencies for visa stamping, attestation and certificate verification at the consulate. Her call data records suggest she was in touch with several high-ranking personnel. She spoke to the UAE Consul General 138 times, another diplomatic attaché at the UAE consulate 28 times, and Kerala's Higher Education Minister K.T. Jalil 9 times between June 1st and 26th. Jalil denied any dealings with Swapna, claiming the calls were strictly professional.
Consul General of UAE assigned Swapna to coordinate the distribution of food kits in the month of Ramadan
and released screenshots of messages with the Consul General to prove it. Swapna also spoke with Sarit Kumar 45 times, while Sarit's call data records show him in touch with Sivasankar several times in the run-up to the gold smuggling. The NIA soon zeroed down on another suspect in the case, Fazil Farid, a 36-year-old Dubai-based businessman. A man with a passion for car racing, but facing 4 check bouncing cases over unpaid rents. Farid, a resident of Thrissur, did business with Sarit Kumar in Karama, Dubai, inaugurated by Bollywood actor Arjun Kapoor, who was paid a huge amount. Fazil was the network's suspected UAE link who is believed to have sent the gold to India using the cover of diplomatic baggage at least 15 times. Booked under various sections of the NIA, he is in custody of the Dubai police and is likely to be extradited to India. Once the gold was brought into India, it was Sandeep Nair's job to fence it, that is, illegally sell this smuggled gold to trusted jewelers. According to the NIA, KT Ramesh, an alleged gun runner from Malappuram, is suspected to be the supplier and financier of smuggled gold. This repeat offender has previously used his connections in high places to walk free after being apprehended for smuggling gold, illegal hunting of animals, and bringing in dismantled parts of 13 guns from abroad. He and 3 of his associates have also been detained by the Directorate of Revenue Intelligence. Some developments are surprising, like the fleeing of acting counsel of the UAE, Rashid Khamis al-Shameli, who quietly took a flight out of India and went back to the safety of his home country. Many of the documents used to smuggle gold bear signatures of a top consulate official, which will be compared with specimen signatures available with the State Protocol Office. The day after the consul left, his security personnel and gunmen, Chief Petty Officer Jaya Ghosh, went to Nandavanam Army Reserve Camp.
I wish to surrender my official pistol.
And then in a suspected suicide bid, was found near his house by a local resident with his wrist slashed. In his statement,
I have nothing to do with the gold smuggling racket.
But it is suspected that Jaya Ghosh was involved. He knew Swapna well and was probably the one who drove Sarit to the air cargo complex to collect the gold on July 5th. Bank accounts belonging to Jaya Ghosh and his close family relatives are under scrutiny to see whether he or any of his family members received sudden sums of money. This case has several political angles, especially since Kerala's assembly elections are slated for April-May 2021. The most ironic is that Pinarai's Left Democratic Front LDF government came to power in 2016 on the basis of a similar solar scam, where one Sarita Nair and her husband Biju Radhakrishnan allegedly duped investors to park money in a solar company by flaunting their proximity to the Chief Minister's office, with allegations that 3 staff members in the then Congress Chief Minister Oommen Chandy's office had links to the main accused in the scam. Now it is time for karma, with Pinarai facing almost exactly the same type of charges. The rattled CM is distributing a 4-page color pamphlet to households featuring pictures of the accused, including Swapna Suresh, but without Siva Sankar. Fake news showing Swapna at Vijayan's daughter's wedding is already making the rounds. Despite BJP whipping up passions over the Sabarimala issue and Pinarai going all out to enforce the Supreme Court orders because the decision worked for him politically, ironically, were Pinarai's government to fall, the gain would likely accrue to both their main rivals, the Congress-led UDF. Now the only way BJP can benefit if the probe throws up Congress leaders too and somehow involves leaders of both the LDF and UDF. But here too BJP is on the back foot. Sandeep Nair's Facebook page shows him hugging veteran BJP leader Kumaran Rajasekaran. And while BJP denies he is in any way associated, Sandeep's mother already told reporters,
"My son is an active member of the BJP."
Gold smuggling is not new to Kerala. Last year, more than 550 kilos of smuggled gold was reportedly seized in the state, a national record. While all parties seek to politically capitalize on the issue and try implicate their opposition, gold smuggling will continue. Bisbo's Limerick. This is a story about smuggled gold, of how a svelte lady played the system cold. A similar scam by another madam had ended up making a difference to the votes poll. Subscribe to Bisbo and click on the bell icon to get notified whenever Bisbo releases a new video. Sources of all our information is listed in the video description section.